dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, what's up, party people? I was a little premature, Clams, but I know that you're used to that. Hey, yo. I meant, and what I mean by that is the whole kicking thing, the whole field goal kicking thing. Thank you very much. I can already see I fucked up a graphic that's covering part of the shit, so I'm going to have to move that in a few minutes. But in the meantime, welcome to Season 3, AACL TueNight, Episode 10. I am your host and commissioner, Dave Axis. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a lot of shit to cover tonight. We're going to go a couple hours. Just FYI, just be prepared. I have a lot of information that I'm going to share with you. There's a lot of information that needs to be disseminated because we've got a lot of shit that is going to be happening prior to, during, and after week 10, different cutoffs for different things that we do in the league. For those of you who don't know, we do a 15-week season this season. And every 5 weeks, we change shit up a little bit. So we're going to be talking about it like that. So here's the update list. As you can see, this is what I got to... Let me get this here. Let me see if I can fix this without fucking up my shit. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm like the fucking man and shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about jury duty, and I'm doing all that shit. But before I do that, I need to introduce my partners in crime. And then I'm going to go to the chat and throw out some shout-outs, see who's actually with us tonight. With me, as they normally are on every AACL TueNight show. I guess this is Wednesday, so it's hump day. So, Ray, will we call this a hump day tonight? Should we do... Oh, can I get a little soft music in the background, Clams? Welcome to hump day tonight.
Daddy, oh, Daddy.
There you go.
Soft music.
That's even,
Somebody saying daddy.
That's even better. That's even fucking better.
No.
Ray,
you
what?
want to do that? You want to do that again? And she do? No, God damn it! You want to do that again? And she does the daddy thing again? Probably we'll get like a soundbite off of it.
Yeah. Hold on. All right, here we go, Clams. I'm gonna get ready. Get ready. Here we go. Hello, party people. Welcome to the hump day tonight.
Daddy, oh, Daddy.
Oh, Daddy. Wait. That you gotta play. You gotta play that one in 9 months. Hey yo. All right. So Ray, how you doing, bro? What's up, man? Oh my God, this is already. We're what? Hold on. We're a few minutes in. This is already a shit show.
No.
Oh, all right, Ray. What's?
Do not come.
Hey, Merle in the chat. I thought I called the 900 number again.
Again.
All right, Ray. What's up, bro?
Shit, nothing. I've fucking just sat around at work doing bumfuck nothing all day, just waiting to come home and do a TueNight show.
I get it. Also with me, always on the Tonight Show, is Yogi Barr, the AD of Virginia Tech. Yogi, what's going on with you, brother?
Bump, 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 bump. Can you hear me?
Hey,
now?
look who got a new microphone.
I dropped the Benjamin on this.
Woo! Does Benji know that?
No, Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, my bad. I thought you literally dropped. I thought you dropped Benji Matson on that shit.
No.
Is wrong with you?
I don't know. Who knows what the fuck is wrong
About
with
to go
me?
to fucking World Star, find that video.
Right. Hey, so Calvin Klein is running late. I don't know when he'll be here, but he'll just jump in when he gets.
Call him Calvin Klein.
KK.
Hey, okay.
Fucking Kmart.
KK.
Oh,
KK.
We're just gonna move from names that start with K, the business.
That's Kmart. What's up, Kmart? Yeah, Kmart will be here soon. But on the Wheels of Steel, on the ones and twos, DJ Clamsy Whamsy. Clamsy, how you doing tonight, sweetie?
Hi.
Did you just say hi?
I did. I said hi.
All right. Well, hi back. How are you doing this evening, Clams?
I'm good. I just ate chili dogs, and I'm really happy about life decisions right now.
All right, that's good. Lisa made me some nice little pasta and white sauce. We had a nice bottle of Chardonnay with it. I'm feeling pretty good myself. So,
ooh.
Speaking of feeling pretty
fresh
good,
fried oysters tonight.
Oh, I can't do oysters, bro.
No?
There is a long list of shit that I will just not put in my mouth.
Okay. Only thing I won't eat is blue cheese.
What she said.
That's what she said. That's the
Blue
only.
cheese is fucking disgusting.
Oh, I love blue.
It is
Actually,
gross.
blue cheese is fucking great.
That's the one thing I don't eat.
We're gonna have to do a poll already. I can already see we're gonna have to do a poll in the fucking chat about if people like blue cheese or not. All right, hey, Speaking of funny things in your mouth, let me check the chat real quick. The first,
Heyo.
the first one in is my BFF Stream Elements in the house. That guy, do you know, Ray, that every single time I do a show, Stream Elements is right here by my side.
Never
Almost like a
miss one.
stalker you don't want to put on a fucking restraining order.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how he acts. Private Clams, though. Clamsy was the first one in, followed by Ray. Some guy named Dave Axis. Blake is here, and he even spent 100 points to say, hello, Dave. Hello, Blake. Merle's in the house. Boomberry, followed by Crazy Canuck, Yogi Bar, Justin Reside. You are going to get another fuck jury story here in a couple minutes. Timothy Shea's in the house, along with the Beeve, Annie. Anastasia Beaverhausen. Gunny's here. Gunny says, where is the grave? Let's get the procedure in order. Justin, Dave got a binder full of stuff. Oh, man, you have no idea. What do you see? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 topics we have to discuss tonight. So, Eagles in the house. What's he says? I thought Korn sent me a certain link with those noises. Oh, yeah, I believe that. Justin saying AACL, doing a little dance, making a little love, getting down tonight, as Ray would say. Merle's in the house along with Doug Britton. And I think that's about it. Let's see who's hiding. And you know it's going to be Twin Screw. Yep, there he is. Twin Screw's always hiding, along with Boonberry. I can't remember if I said his name. Freddie, why are you always hiding now, bro? Used to be all fun and interactive, and now you just hide and come on at the end of the show. That's it. Ryan Davis is listening. And that's about it. There's about 20 of you. Not too shabby. That's almost 10% of what the people we have in the league. So we're getting there. All right, now Freddie says, "What the fuck?" All right, so here's my jury duty story. This is look at. I even did I made a new graphic for it. What do you think about that, Ray? You like that?
Oh, there we go. I like the outline of it. That looks nice.
I thought I would coordinate it with the banner up top. Because
it looks better now that it doesn't say "fuck Ray."
Oh, I've got that one. I have that one still too.
Shouldn't it say "fucks jury" instead of "fuck juries"?
No, fuck juries because I was on 2 of them, bro. So all right, so everybody knows.
Fuck is jury.
Fucks jury. I don't even know what that means.
Dave fucks jury.
Oh, I did. Well,
my name was Jury.
I almost I almost fucked this
Do
one.
not come.
Do not come. So, all right, here we go. Everybody knows the whole guy throwing his chick out the Jeep last week, 15 cars back, 3 cars over, all that shit. All right, this one is not as exciting, but it's stupider, as somebody said on the show one time. Yeah, so check this out. It was a fucking DUI case, right? This dude lives out here in Knoxville. He had some band fly out from New York. Had him play it. You were playing downtown, but then he took him way out to West Knoxville to stay at a hotel. He just happened to stay at a hotel that's known for drug traffic, right? So, and this guy, if you guys all see me, I got a bald head, little gray goatee. Think of me about 6 or 7 inches taller, about 100 pounds heavier, and a beard that's about 12 inches fucking longer. Gunny, it was still Knox County. It was still Knox County because that was the jury duty. So he's in West.
Are you describing Santa now, or what's going on?
He kind of looked like he could double for Santa. Dude, this is the dumbest shit. So he pleads not guilty. He has a public defender. The assistant district attorneys for Knoxville are the prosecution, and this guy, bro, he gets pulled over. The cop knocks on his passenger window. The window rolls down, and the cop testifies that just alcohol odor knocked him over practically, right? The guy had been driving erratically, couldn't stay in the lane, made an illegal U-turn right in front of a huge ass fucking no U-turn sign, and then turned around to get on the freeway, and that's when he pulled him over on the on-ramp. So this motherfucker he's like, can I get your license and registration? The cop, and he's like, it's on my phone. And the cop's like, it's on your phone. He goes, it's all on my phone. And he's like, your license is on your phone? It's all on my phone, or it's in it's on my phone, or it's in the and when he's saying he's pointing at the glove box, but he can't think of the fucking word glove box.
Oh,
or glove compartment or whatever, right? So it's like, and he said it like 3 or 4 times. No, it's here in my phone, and so the cop's like, okay, go ahead and get on your phone, bro. And seriously, because we're watching all this from the cop's body cam, bro, and it's him opening his browser, scrolling, or opening his phone, scrolling all those apps, opening the browser. Getting out of browser, scrolling Abs. Dude lived for like fucking 3 minutes, and the dude's finally like, get the fuck out of the car, man. He asked him, he goes, how much have you had to drink tonight? Only 2 beers. He goes, where are you coming from? He goes, well, I had a concert today, blah, blah. Cop's like, what time was the concert? He's like, 4 p.m. This is 3:30 in the morning. It's 3:30 in the morning. He's coming out of the Days Inn. He's like, then why are you coming out of the Days Inn? He's like, because I had a concert in Knoxville. Now, mind you, this is like 15 miles apart, this Days Inn and where this fucking concert was. Turns out he was putting the band up there. That part was legit and whatever. But dude, this dude gets out of the they get him out of the car, and he comes back, and this dude is stumbling all over the place, and it takes him forever. Like, the backup cop got there, and the guy was still fumbling through his phone to try to find his fucking his insurance, right? Then he finally finds his insurance, and they ask him to get his driver's license, and he's like, it's in my pocket. Can I reach in my pocket? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. He pulls out this big-ass trifold wallet. And I don't know how it is in other states, but in Tennessee, and it was like this way in California, if you have a driver's license, it reads horizontal. If you don't have a driver's license, you only have a state identification, like ID card, it goes vertical. It reads vertical. This guy pulls out a fucking he pulls it out. It's only an ID card. They're like, where the fuck's your license? So then they go to do this fucking sobriety, and he fucks it all up, man. And he's talking about he's got a cut on his foot. And dude, and the guy's stumbling all over the place, and he's telling the fucking cop he looks like Nacho from Breaking Bad, and like the dude's fucking hammered, and you can tell, man. And he can't do so. There's 3 tests on the fucking sobriety test, right? It's the what do you call it?
Touch your nose.
No, the first one was the eye test. So he did the pen, dude, and it's fucking great, right? So the guy's. And he looks hammered. His eyes are like all wide open. He looks like he's a little psycho, right? Oh, that's fucking funny. So check this out. I know this is going to end up being a thing. The guy goes, when he was still asking him for his insurance app, he's like, what insurance do you have? He's like, Psycho. And the cop's like, you mean Geico? I want that Psycho insurance. I got to tell you, man, the way he looked like he needed Psycho insurance. Hey-o. So
the AACL, sponsored by Psycho Insurance.
Oh man, it was so fucking funny. So then he's like, so he goes to do it, and he's doing the pen. He's like, follow the pen. And dude, think about this guy. He's just standing there, and think about the widest you can open your eyes, and you got your mouth open a little bit, and you're just like following the pen with your whole head. And the cop's like, don't move your head, just move your eyes. Okay. And he just keeps fucking moving his head, bro. Never fucking one time did he actually just move his eyes. So he fails that fucking thing. Then they do the fucking walk 9 steps on a line, turn around and walk back, heel to toe. This motherfucker couldn't get past 3 or 4 steps. And then the funniest thing, I don't know, people out here in AACL land, you have young kids, or you've had young kids, or you have grandkids. And when they're 3, 4, 5, and they do something that they're really proud of, they always go, what do? They go, ta-da, or, whatever, right? This motherfucker, 3 or 4 steps, turns around and goes, ta-da.
Oh, my.
So this motherfucker thought he was in a Reno 911 scene.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I don't know if anybody's seen that jury show on, I think it was not Netflix, it was on Prime, like last year, where it's one juror and everybody else is actors, and they punked this guy. Dude, I swear to God, I thought I was getting punked on this fucking jury, right? On this trial. So, I got a couple more minutes. We'll wrap this up pretty quick. But so basically, after he fails that one, the next one was the what's the fucking third one? It's the eyes.
Alphabet?
No, the walking, and
do they even do the alphabet anymore?
He didn't on this one. I forget what the third one was. As soon as I think of it, I'll shout it out like I have fucking Tourette's or something. But he failed all 3 of them. They placed him under arrest, all this shit. So the whole defense, and you've got this public defender, her first trial, her first opening statement. Yeah, it was fucking terrible. Like last week, it was a great trial. And the fucking, and then the jury shit was fucked up because we were all fighting and arguing. This time, the fucking trial went probably a half a day or maybe almost a whole day longer than it should have. And I had those motherfuckers done today in like 90 minutes. right? In the because by the way, I got voted the foreman this time, so I was the foreman on the second one. So I organized. I was like, boom, here we go. This is what we're gonna do. Pass these documents. This is what we're voting on. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Boom, guilty. Let's go. Right. So he had 2 counts. First count was driving under the influence. We found him guilty. Second count was driving without a license and guilty. Here's something interesting. So in criminal court last week, we don't decide on the sentence. The judge does.
Right.
Well, they I guess they do some of it, but we have to decide on the fine. So it took us like 90 seconds to get guilty on both, like 12-0 on both. Bro, it was really easy. There was one person that hemmed and hawed for about a few seconds, and then they came with us. Here's the thing, though. It took us 90 minutes to figure out the fines because people are like, oh, but I feel bad. I don't want to. Okay, I was like, you know what? Fuck feeling bad. This motherfucker had a suspended license for years before this happened. Years.
Yeah.
And so.
And driving on psycho insurance.
Yeah. And I mean, well, maybe that's why he doesn't have a license. So basically, they said they didn't want him to have too much fine. But here's the thing. On the second count of driving with a suspended or revoked license, the max fine, it said, our instructions were, if you find him guilty, you may fine him up to $500 or not fine him at all or anywhere in between. Those motherfuckers were like $100, and so we finally got them to $500. On the bigger count, is a bigger fine. You find him guilty, it says you must fine him on the count 1 on the DUI, and it has to be anywhere between, I think it was $350 was the minimum and $1,500 was the max, and we settled on the middle at like $925. So he got guilty on count 1, $925 fine, and guilty on count 2, a $500 fine. But it sounds like the judge can probably give him a little jail time too, as well. So that was pretty much it. It was pretty simple this time. I think that the defense was just terrible. The fucking guy, he wasted our taxpayer dollars on this. There's no way he was getting out of that shit. It was dumb, but so that's my story this week. Not quite as exciting as last week, but probably stupider.
Are like the other fucking jurors down there in Tennessee just fucking afraid that these people are just gonna go find them if they give them the max shit? Just like, hey, I remember you. You fucking fined me $500 in that case, you bitch.
Yeah, I know. Boo. And here's the fun. Oh, it was great too. So I had to switch. I was juror number 6, which it starts at the top row, left to right, 1 through 6. So I'm on the top right, closest to the judge, both last week and this week. I had to switch with number 12. Because to read the verdicts and stuff. So I literally had to read the verdict to the guy. Hey, you're fucking guilty and here's your fines, bitch. It was fucking kind of cool. It was kind of fun. I kind of liked it. So, and people are like,
have you ever seen the movie 12 Angry Jurors with Henry Fonda?
Yeah, I made a joke.
Okay.
I made a joke
you need to watch it.
Oh, no, I've seen it. I made a joke because last week we had 10, because there's always an alternate, right? So there's 13 jurors until we go to deliberate. Last week it was 10 men and 3 chicks. This week it was 3 women or 10 women and only 3 guys.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I didn't want to do the 12 angry men joke, so I did 12 angry pronouns is what I said in the jury. And dude, I got shit you not. The only people who laughed were the 2 guys. Oh fuck! All right. Anyway, let me see if there's. Let me see what was in here. In the comments real quick, and then we're going to move on now that I've story time with Dave is over. Blake says in Texas it's vertical for minors and horizontal. Yeah, that's the same thing too. Yeah, so in California, I don't know about Tennessee, but in California, vertical is an ID and an underage driver's license. Same. Clam says there are 4 underage kids under 21 here that have vertical. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. Timothy Shea, the same thing in Kansas. How do you get psycho from Geico? Because it rhymes when you're drunk, Justin. Come on. He was trying to rap to the cop. He was like, you nacho.
It's just another gecko just dressed out in emo gear.
Dude, we got to come up with if you can use the word nacho as the cop and Breaking Bad and Psycho and Geico, I think we can come up with a little mini rap there for something. But standing on 1 foot. Yeah, well, here's the other thing, too, Blake. It's interesting you say that. In the jury room, there's this old lady, the old lady that was on my fucking jury last week. She's like, well, some of us are senior citizens and it's hard to stand on 1 foot. Thank you, Blake. Yeah, that's what it was. Stand on 1 foot, which he said he couldn't do because of the cut. And the cop's literally like, you can do the other foot. Do you have cuts on both feet, motherfucker?
That's why you have 2 feet, dude.
Yeah, so he failed. He couldn't. Oh, dude, here's a funny thing, too. Ready? I almost got us in trouble. Oh, I do have to tell you. Somebody did get in trouble. I got to tell you about that. So we're lighting up, getting ready to go in the courtroom on the second day, I think it was, or early second day, whatever it was. And we had already seen the footage of where he's trying to do the 1 foot. He's like, oh, I can't do it. And I'm in line, and people are kind of bitching. They're like, this is so dumb. This is an easy case. I don't know why we're wasting our time. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Let's just get in there and find out. And I did this whole fucking thing right there in front of like the bailiffs and everything. I got on one foot. I'm like, oh, I can't do the thing. Right? Dude, and this one chick was laughing so hard that like an hour later we're still in there and they show that footage again, dude, and she starts laughing during the fucking trial. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny, bro. And then she got off the hook though, because like a few minutes later they were having another sidebar. I've never seen so many fucking sidebars in my life. If you add up all the sidebars you see on lawyer shows on TV, that's how many we had in fucking 2 days in this fucking trial. And juror number juror number 8 is sitting over by the one of the officers that was a witness, and she literally just starts talking to him. She's like, she goes, you look familiar. Do you direct traffic at such and such church that I go? And he's like, yeah, I do. And dude, all of a sudden the lawyers turn on. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? They made us all leave, called her back in. She got scolded by the judge.
Oh,
and almost got kicked off the jury. And it was funny because that was her husband's birthday and she was trying to get home anyway. So she told the judge, well, if you want to kick me off, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And I think on purpose, he said, no, you're fucking staying. And he made her fucking stay and come back today. So anyway, that was it. That's jury. Let me go finish through these. Stand on 1 foot though, Blake, you're right. So it was the eye test.
I'll be right back. right back.
No, you're good.
Look who typed in chat.
Oh, I'm going to get there in a second. Hold on. So it was the eye test, the walk in a line, turn around, walk in a line, heel to toe, and then the 1 foot test. Crazy Canuck says the alphabet one is probably guaranteed fail. Dude, I can't do the alphabet backwards when I'm sober either. I'm not even lying. Eagle said voted in quotes. I'm not sure to which one you're talking about there. You mean you mean me taking over the fucking bro? I saw how it got ran last week, and I wasn't let that shit happen again. So, throw in the books. I heard access has been extended. Another Gunny. That's not even funny, bro. Sobriety tests are usually following the pen walking line. Yep, Blake's got that. What the fuck is going on? What's up, Bob Funk? Good to see you, buddy. Twin Screw in the house.
Twin Screw. Never.
Yeah, wow. And Churchill. What's up, Mike Churchill? Good to see you too, bro. All right, so it only took us 27 minutes to get through point 1. Only 13 more points to go. We are kicking ass. All right, I'm going to get rid of this jury thing. And let's do this. What am I looking for? Hold on. Oh, there it is right there. All right, so all of that to say, we're going to move into AACL stuff now. Something important I want you guys to know. You guys knew about this previously. I had talked about the people that we have in the AACL that have stepped up to help me out and help me do stuff. We've added another person. And in the AACL Discord now, we had to start color coordinating people because it's just too hard to keep track. So this is it. So everything's the same on here except we have added as another Deputy Commissioner, Ray Bashan. And then down to Twitch moderators, I had never mentioned that Michaela was also a Twitch moderator. The way things are in the AACL Discord server now, my name is still black. We moved Wink to pink, so that's easy to remember. He's hot pink. So Wink is hot pink. And then Eagle, Zach, Ray, or who is it? Eagle, Zach, Michaela, and Ray are all kind of a light bluish teal kind of green color thing. It almost looks like, if you look at Eagle's name, you'll see between the Syracuse and his name, it kind of looks like Miami Dolphins. So that's the deal. Gunny, I might have to do this on a regular basis. Access story time. I just don't want to have to be on fucking juries to do it. So, but anyway, so that's the changes you'll see in the server. The changes with some organizational changes here within the league, just so you know now who's doing what, and who you need to contact in case you need something. All right, Back to the list. See that? Look at that. The first one took 27 minutes. The second one took like 27 seconds. So boom, there you go. Let's see. I gotta move this. I got a lot of moving parts this week. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, let's talk about this real quick. All right, I see Blake in the house. Blake, I'm not gonna pick on you, bro. And for just to set the record straight, Blake was not the only one that said something. That had some thoughts about all the schedule changing and stuff here. I did lose my shit a little bit on a couple things I heard from some other people. I'm much more calm now, obviously, but I just want to kind of remind everybody what this is exactly. This is a free league, right? It's 100% free. You don't pay any money. I don't ask you to pay subscriptions. I don't ask you to do what do you call those things, Ray? The fucking annual boosters, the boosts. What do they call them?
Dues.
The server boosting?
Server boosting. Yeah, server boosting. There you go. I don't ask you to do server boosting. It's appreciated. And if you do it, you get some extra progression. But I don't require that. Honestly, there's 90% of the people. We have 210 to 215 people. We've been up to, I think, as high as 221. We've been over 200, since the beginning of the season. But 90% of the people in this league don't do anything to contribute. I'm not bitching about it. I'm just being matter of fact. The 90% of you come here. Some of you, not even all of you, maybe 2/3 of you will do your classes. You'll do your training. Timothy Shea, I appreciate that, bud. Parker football, is that Thomas Parker? Is that Parker Thomas? Sorry. Parker Thomas, I didn't think that may be the first time he's ever listened to us. You guys don't do anything. You're just here enjoying what we've put together. The other 10% of the people do a lot. The leadership that I just put up there on the organizational chart, all the athletic directors, people on the broadcast team, people on the stats team. There's a 10% of the people that do a shitload of stuff. When we're not on breaks, obviously, put nearly full-time hours into this league. And I'm not making any money off of it. We make a little bit of money off of Twitch, $40-50 a month or whatever, and I send it to Objective Zero. I make zero money off of here. I'm not doing this as a career. I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it because I love college football, and I want people who love college football to come and experience this with me. That's why I do it. This is not my job. I don't get paid for it. I'm not required to be here certain hours or certain times or any of that shit. I do this out of the kindness of my heart. And when I hear that people are complaining, and I know that Blake's comment, he just for the record, Blake DM'd me privately, explained what he was trying to say, said he kind of said it wrong, it came out wrong, whatever. I get that. I've also heard from some other people about some other people in locker rooms and stuff bitching about it. But real life things are more important. I've always saying that real life is more important than sim life. And sometimes for sim life, especially free sim life, just needs to fucking be put on hold so we can do the important real thing. Certainly, if one person argues with me about this, I will be fucking flabbergasted. But certainly, things like my son's wedding, the death of my best friend's wife, performing my civic duty to my community, rehoming my special needs dog, all that shit, are way more important than streaming for a whopping 15 of you that fucking tune in live to watch and listen to what we do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I just want to let it be known that I don't appreciate people bitching that I have to put this on hold sometimes when you guys are getting it for free and you don't do shit. So, and that may be more blunt than you're used to or that you want, but it is what it is. Nobody's forcing anybody to be here. The people, and you can ask Eagle, all those people that Eagle writes stories about, I have lost 0 winks of sleep. I've lost 0 sleep over them being gone. It does not matter to me. I've said this many times too. I'd rather have a league with less people that are more dedicated than a bigger league with a bunch of people that don't give a fuck. So I know you, Eagle, I know you do. I know you love writing those stories. So I don't mind carrying this league, this big league. I don't mind carrying 200 people. I don't mind carrying 500 people if we get up to there. I just don't want to hear people bitching that, I can't, Dave, keeps rescheduling because he's got shit in his personal life and I don't do anything in this league and I don't pay any money. I just don't want to hear that shit anymore. And I'm probably going to make it a fucking thing where if you bitch about shit like that, I'm probably just gonna bounce you from now on. I mean, we'll have a conversation first, but I'm kind of like just putting everybody on notice right now. This is kind of the last thing that I want to last time that I really want to talk about it. I'm very welcoming. We've allowed everybody and anybody to come into this league. We've let people go back, leave and come back. I welcome nearly everybody, but I'm not going to let anyone dictate my life priorities. It's just not going to happen. So I think that's the end of my rant. I hope I've made my point. This league, it's at our leisure. We're not on a strict schedule. I like to keep a schedule. I mean, if in a perfect world, it'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all the time. It'd be great. I would fucking love it. But we're not on a strict schedule. Doesn't always have to be adhered to. And honestly, here's really the last point I want to make. If you want this to be a more active league, then maybe you're the motherfucker who needs to be more active. That's it. Or I guess I can start charging money. I mean, that would weed out a whole bunch of fucking people, probably. Right? I'm just saying. So anyway, that's my rant. Again, I am not picking on Blake or anyone in particular, except for Marco Swift, who can get the fuck out of here. And that's it. So I hope that we all have an understanding now on what this league is, what the expectations are, where the workload really sits, and where it doesn't. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit when we start talking about where everybody is in their training and classes. Some of y'all are about to fucking be put on probation at the end of the season, and that's going to fuck you because you don't do your shit. So that's a whole nother fucking conversation we'll have in a minute. So is Keith here? Did I see Keith jump in? Hey, Keith is here. Keith.
Yes, I am.
You got here just in time, buddy. How you doing, man?
What's up, Kmart?
Kmart, huh? That's a new one.
Calvin Klein.
Hey, I called you Kelvin. I called you Kelvin Klein at the beginning of the show, so
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't give you the Calvin thing because that's it's copyrighted. So.
All right. Well, I already have Shikabala in the SSF, so
Perfect.
I guess Kelvin Klein. Kelvin Klein is my next
That's perfect.
AACL player.
That is perfect. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna check the chat and see if anybody's got comments on what I just said. Same with the booth. If anybody wants to chime in and say anything, you're good to go. What I see in here is.
Plenty of support.
Yeah, I love this league. Fuck the haters. My work is appreciated. Appreciate that. It's all good, Dave. Yada yada yada. Yeah, it's good. All good. All right, so we're on the same page now. So we're good. Glad to hear it.
Pretty much. There's no reason why somebody in a, like Dave said, a free league should be sitting here acting like a boss at their employee's funeral and be like, so, did you get somebody to cover your shift or?
Yeah.
There's no point in acting like that, bro.
You just reminded me something, Ray. Something else I meant to say and I forgot. It was something somebody said yesterday. Something about having other people stream to help out. I want to refresh everyone's memory. We talked about switching to the NCAA game. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're still looking at that. We're looking at possibly maximum football. There's even the possibility we may stay on revamped for one more season. But here's the deal. We decided at the beginning of the season to make things mostly easier for me and because we didn't want to have to change platforms 2 seasons in a row, we decided to stay on the Xbox this season. The issue with the Xbox is I'm the only one who has the fucking Xbox, and Xbox does not share files. So if we had revamped on PC, then we could have other streamers. But that would have required us to rebuild 16-team rosters between last season and this season for one season before we were going to move to another game, and that was just a dumb decision if I had made that. So that was just never going to happen. So streaming part, I'm the only one who can stream this season. We are hoping to move to something that has PCs or PS5 file sharing, but Xbox does not do file sharing. So for the rest of this season, at least, what is it? 6 more weeks, plus bowl games and playoffs. It's just me, bro. It's just me streaming. Nobody else can stream besides me. So, Yogi or Keith, anything you want to throw in there before I move on to my next topic?
I mean, I don't know. You're covering everything, it seems like.
That's good. I had some time to think about it over the last 24 hours, so I wanted to make sure that I was very clear. So, all right, here we go. Moving on. So that's it. So I gave you my jury duty story. I showed you the new organizational roles plus the talked about the change of colors for people in the server. I just discussed the Monday night pub conversation. Oh, and there you go. You get to see everything, and now you get to see everything else.
Now you fuck up.
Yep, fuck off. All right, I hate when I push the wrong button. All right, this is what we do next. Upcoming schedules. Some of you are not going to be happy, but just please remember what I said about 5 minutes ago. Hold on a second. Let me see. Boom. We already did that. All right. We'll come back to this page at the end when we do pick'ems, because next Tuesday we're not going to do a full show. I'm just going to do a 30-minute show next week to kind of just, catch everybody up and whatever. But week 10, due to the fact that I had jury duty Monday and Tuesday, I had to spend a lot of time putting all this shit together for tonight. I am gone tomorrow, which I think you should have read in the ping yesterday or the day before. And this is Labor Day weekend, and a lot of people in the broadcast channel and in some locker room stuff I saw, people just aren't going to be around this weekend because it's a holiday. It's Labor Day weekend. So I don't really feel like giving up my Labor Day weekend and making some other people do it so 5 of you can watch us live when we can literally just push it back a few days and start fresh. So next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have 0 plans. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be a normal fucking week here in the AACL, and it will be week 10. Tuesday night, we will do a little 30-minute show from 7 to 7:30. We'll take, or 7:30 to 8, I'm sorry. We'll take a half-hour break. Clams, you better not even fucking jinx me. And
Surprise! Tennessee moved to 3 weeks.
Oh, my God. I would lose my shit. And then we'll have games 1 and 2 on Tuesday, 3, 4, and 5 on Wednesday, and the last 3 on Thursday. The reason why you see the matchups graphic different this week than you normally do is because we don't have the order yet, and so it was easier for me to just grab off the one in the schedule channel in the server and that. So these are your Week 10 games. We're going to go over them at the very end of this show as we do our pick'ems, and we're just going to do them in this order, and then Ray and I will probably figure out the broadcast schedule in the next day or so, and then we'll post that, and you guys will know all that shit.
I've already been working on the broadcast schedule.
Attaboy.
If anybody in here who is a usual play-by-play person, and you have not given me your schedule yet, please either DM me or put it in the booth blab so I can go ahead and get the schedule finalized and get ready for next week. Perfect.
All right, so these are the games that are going to be played next week, and we will come out with the thing. I spent $5 to tell Dave to fuck himself. I love this league. See, there you go, Marco. I don't even know where I get that. Do I get the $5? I don't even know if I get it.
I think they take a little bit away just because it's Twitch, but yeah.
Marco, you can. You know what? Let's cut out the middleman, bro. Just send me $5 every day, and you can say whatever the fuck you want to me. I don't give a fuck. All right, going back to the list. Here we go. So that's the upcoming schedule, and then I'm going to post because the week after next is going to be a late week. The week after that's going to be an early week. Then the week after that we'll be back to normal. So we won't miss any more weeks through September, but they will be altered. There's going to be a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I think a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or a Thursday, Friday, Saturday in there somewhere. All right. Final recruiting. This is important. I've allowed recruiting to go on longer, walk-ons, if you will, longer than I said I would, because we had more people joining. If you are a prospect right now, or you are somebody new who joins the server before Tuesday, so probably Monday night at midnight will be your cutoff. Actually, I'm going to make it Sunday night at midnight because I'll need a day to put rosters together. If you go to the teams section in the AACL server, under teams, you go down to AACL teams. There's an updated list of how many spots are available for each team. You can only have 13, so most people have 10, 11, 12. Some have 13, but there are spots available. So if people join, so if you have friends, you have family members or whatever that want to get a third of the season in, play in some playoffs, maybe some bowl games, if they want to sign up before Sunday night, then they will be able to play beginning week 10. This is the final cutoff. I will not be adding any other players. Anybody else who joins the server and does not get on a team after this Sunday night at midnight will have to wait until Season 4 to play. So that's your first deadline that everybody needs to know about. Second deadline is, oh, hold on. Do I want to do that one now? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to do playbooks first, and we'll go back to the school and training. If you are an AD and you're watching this either live or you're watching it on VOD, I believe this is correct from week 6 through 10. What happens after week 10, so after next week's games, playbooks can change again. If you have two playbooks, like I'm looking at, so see how Tennessee there near the bottom right side has Cal and Washington State, they can swap out one of those. People can still go to custom, or they can get rid of custom and grab two books. It's all kind of a free for all right now based on where you feel with your playbooks, your current playbooks. So after week 10, the 80s are going to be on a very short timeline, probably like 24 to 48 hours after week 10 to get me any playbook changes. So after week 10, you'll have weeks 11 through 15. See up in the top right corner, it says weeks 6 through 10. That'll say 11 through 15. And that's will be the playbooks that you're stuck with for the rest of this season. All right. Now, I do want to talk a minute about school and training updates. I have a spreadsheet here, but I'm not going to share it with you because it's a lot of information that, to be honest with you, it'll take you longer to fucking figure it out than I can explain it. Plus, there's notes and some different shit. Here's what you need to know. I didn't just make up the whole fucking training and classes things because, fucking I had a stick up my ass one day. I did it because it's going to help you progress your player or potentially digress your player in future seasons based on what you've done. There will be attributes depending on which game it is. I don't know which ones they will be. This revamp game versus the new NCAA game versus Maximum may be different. But there is going to be certain attributes that for mental or brain, for thinking, like let's say awareness is a good one for that will be dictated by how well you did in class, how well you did in school. There will be other things like strength and other physicality things that will be dictated on how well you did on your training. And let me tell you this, there is a cutoff. There is a cutoff if you haven't done a certain number or a certain percentage of training and classes that you will be put on probation, and if you don't get them up, you will be cut. I'm allowing athletic directors to make cuts at the end of the season, just like I'm allowing recruits to transfer. The ADs won't be able to fucking cut everybody. They can only cut a few people. But I need to tell you this. Michaela and I went over these numbers today, and right now, out of 210 people in the server, there are right now 52 of you that are failing your classes and would not be eligible to play next season if the season ended today. So you have basically about 8 weeks to get your shit together, or you may not play next season. There's an additional 29 of you that would be on probation today if the season ended today. That is a whopping 81 people combined that would either be on probation or cut from the team because of grades. 81 out of 210. That is just way more than I ever expected. On the training side, there are now 49 of you, so 25% of the league that as of today will gain 0 progression towards your player next season physically. Think about that. So 81 on mental capabilities, or not to be able to play at all, because if you fail school in real life, in college, you don't get to play. It's the same thing here. And I don't want to hear anybody in the chat saying, oh, we never knew about it. Yes, you did. If you listen to the shows at the beginning of the season, I fucking told you. I warned you. I told you. And now we're fucking 2/3 of the season in, and you're going to have to cram. Just like in college, you would have to cram. You're going to have to cram your ass off. Not cram your ass, but cram your ass off.
Daddy.
Plenty important for that.
So, listen, this league could be a lot smaller next season. Just saying. Oh, Soto's in the house. Soto, what's up, bro? What do you say? You're saying we have a bunch of vegetables play. All I'm saying is there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be hurt because they will not have the players that they had this season, or they won't be able to play for a certain amount of time. So it's going to be, it's going to be funny to see what happens. But 52 failing classes right now, 29 on probation, and 49 of you with 0 physical progression. That's where we stand with schools and training. So you guys might want to get your shit together. Is all I'm saying. Update
for your own good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter to me. If you don't do your shit, that's actually less work for me. If you do your shit, that's more work for me. So I don't care either way. Britton says, so is the 5 makeup? Is the 5? What do you mean the 5? I'm not sure what you mean, Doug. I know about the makeup. I was going to talk about that next, but I don't know what you mean by the 5. Doug, once you say that, then I'll address it. But so the other thing I was going to tell you is that just like Goals does, and obviously, and I got this idea from Goals, obviously, and Doug and Blitzkrieg over there.
If I got the stream up on my other monitor.
Yeah, is that I will allow you to redeem or make up a certain number of these missed classes in training. Oh, I don't remember. Did I say that, Doug? 5? Oh.
He wants to know, is he get 5 each or just 5 total?
No, so 5, I think I said that in an example, Doug. I don't think there was a hard number yet because I don't know how many there's going to be at the end of the season. It'll be a percentage, not a hard number. But I will allow you to make up a certain percentage of your missed classes and your training by redeeming your Twitch points. So how do you get Twitch points? You got to watch these fucking live shows. That's how you do it. There's only 22 of you now. There was 26 a few minutes ago, and it looks like I pissed off 4 of you. So there you go.
Watch the live stream, participate in the predictions, the polls, whatever.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, all that goes towards progression. It helps. But the biggest thing you could do if you are lacking is spend your progression points on makeup, and we'll make a thing for that when we get to there. I wasn't going to do it till the end of the season, so start watching live streams. That's how you get points. So,
do you get points for VOD?
You do not.
No,
it's only for live.
It's only on live.
Just so everybody knows that.
Yeah. You can't watch it on VOD. You have to watch it live. So, and it's not like we don't do a shitload of games. I mean, we stream for like nearly 20 hours a week. I'm sure you could find some time. So, all right. I think that's it. Go ahead, bro.
And trust us, we appreciate y'all watching the VODs because the amount of views that we see on these VODs are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if you want those channel points and try and make up some classes you missed, because I know I've missed a couple.
Okay.
Be here, just watch the stream. You don't even have to chat. You can just sit there and be your lurker and just watch everything. What the fuck do you want, Cornhub?
Hold on. Yeah. So Michaela put in the chat, if anyone wants to know their status, tell them to hit me up. So if you don't know what your status is, you need to know, you want to know, you're unsure, you're a little concerned now after what I said. How do we progress? Oh, we do that in the off season, Shay. We do all the progression in the off season. We add up all your classes, your training, your pick'ems, all that shit, and then you get a certain number of NIL money based on that to put towards your player each season. Michaela, also, I need you, Ray, talk about something. I don't care what it is. NIL money, progression, something for about 30 seconds. I need to DM Michaela real quick.
Talk about something. All right.
Oh, Lord.
Daddy.
Oh, Lord.
What do you mean, oh, Lord?
This could go anywhere.
What do you mean, oh, Lord? So, yeah, like I was saying, I guess your name's Ray, and you're just going to play a bunch of sounds, aren't you?
Do not come.
Apparently that is true. So, like Dave was saying, we're working on getting next week all set up and everything. We didn't want to put together a last-minute week again like we were going to do. So, like he said, we're working on the next broadcast schedule for next week. We're working with the play-by-play people, the analyst people, everything else. Talk about absolutely nothing, then my name would be Winkler. Final recruiting, if you want to be a part of this season, and it's either going to be probably the last season we used revamped, or it's going to be into the next season, you're going to have the first season of Maximum, or even NCAA if we can figure that shit out. Please get your ass in here, because this is one fun-ass league to be in, and it's an amazing community, although we do sometimes get on each other's nerves once in a while.
Okay, I'm back,
I think
folks.
I think he's in here.
Oh, did it already happen?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
cool.
in here.
All right, I am back. All right, I don't know what you talked about, but great, Ray. That sounded fucking great, bro. All right, next thing. So playbooks updated, school and training. I already talked about the last playbook being due after week 10. Look at this. We're only 54 minutes in, and look how much we've covered already. Unbelievable. This is why I was the fucking jury foreman, just saying. Now we're going to get into a couple things. We're going to talk about there are some teams leaving, and we have more teams that are going to be joining next season. So I want to let you know there will be 3 teams leaving next season. One is a little different than the other 2, but team number 1 that will not be returning for season 4 is Auburn University. Auburn will not be a team in season 4, and neither will the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both state of Alabama schools will be leaving the AACL. They will not be returning. The third team, Twin Screws on Auburn. That's why. And then the third team is kind of leaving. I just want everybody to know. So last week, Joseph Delaney stepped down as athletic director of Notre Dame, and Ray Bashan has taken that over. Well, as we know, let me see if I can scroll down here. Let me do this one.
Find it. There it is.
Yeah.
At least you labeled it.
I label all my shit. As was previously announced on this program a few weeks ago, Ray Bashan will be an athletic director in season 4, and he will be taking over Boise State. So he will be running Notre Dame for the remainder of season 3, and then he will switch over to season 4, and Notre Dame will go away. If you play on the Notre Dame Irish, you are more than welcome to transfer with Ray. There's no rules against that, and if you don't want to, you just hit the portal, and then you can sign. You can go to another school because that team is being dissolved. This also goes for Auburn, Alabama. There is no penalty. There's no NIL money penalty attributed to players when teams go away like that. Twin Screw is asking, will players be auto-put into the portal at the end of the season? For Auburn and Alabama, yes. For Notre Dame, no. But like I said, Twin Screw, there will not be a penalty. Normal rules in the AACL is you get 1 free transfer, and after that you have to start paying. So even if this is your second transfer, third, or whatever, you will not be penalized if a team goes away. Right, Soto? I saw that shit earlier today. That's really funny. So speaking of Greg Soto, for those of you who may not have paid attention before, we announced several weeks ago that Greg Soto was going to come in and bring Oregon into the AACL. But then a couple weeks ago, Art Vandelay decided to step down as AD of Miami after the season. And Soto's going to be taking over Miami instead of bringing Oregon in. Art Vandelay will stay on as head coach. So we will be losing Auburn, Alabama, and Notre Dame. We will be gaining Boise State. We will be gaining Miami. Miami will still be here. We'll be gaining Boise State. I think it was last week or the week before we announced that Michigan will also be joining the AACL. To give Ohio shit and Nate Hall that natural rivalry. I think that'll be a lot of fun in this league. And then we have some breaking news tonight. We are adding another team to the AACL. We have breaking news, and I'm going to do this first. For those of you who are good at math, we have 16 teams now. Minus 3 is 13. Plus Boise. Plus Michigan.
Plus tonight.
And plus what I'm about to add. So I think it puts us back at 16 if I'm not. If you're a mathematician in the house, let me know.
Yeah.
So
16.
I want to let everybody know that the latest team joining the AACL in season 4, as I'm hoping that Clam's getting my drum roll ready, as she is, the Texas Longhorns. Horns up, motherfuckers. Guess who's coming in the league? Ooh, That's a lot of clapping. That's a lot of fast clapping.
May have just lost clams.
Texas Longhorns will be coming in, and Mike Churchill, currently outside linebacker for Missouri, will be the athletic director. He is joining us right now. Mike Churchill, congratulations, bro, and welcome to the program.
What's up, Dave? How y'all doing?
We're doing great, bro. How are you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm just excited to get the next season rolling.
So let me ask you this. First of all, why are you a Longhorns fan? How did that even come around? Did you grow up in Texas? Have you always been? Are you a lifelong fan? How did the whole Texas Longhorn thing come about?
Oh yeah, I'm born and raised right here in Texas. I guess growing up, I can remember at Thanksgivings, my grandmother would have us sing the Texas fight song. It's just something that we always did. So it was a really easy decision for me. It's my favorite team anyway, so.
I get that. I would love to bring my favorite team in here as well, but I can't have a team apparently. So let me ask you this. You've only been here. This is your first season in the AACL, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, Packer Fred, all the orange in the AACL, right? We've got, what do we have? We got Syracuse, we've got Tennessee, we got Florida, we got Miami, Virginia Tech has some orange.
Yep.
Wow, we do have a lot of orange. We have to.
Boise State.
Boise State's gonna have orange. Yeah,
Yeah.
we may have to rename this the OCCL. Hey yo.
Auburn won't be here next.
So Mike, you said you just joined this season. What? And I know, and listen, we know each other from the SFL. You know a lot of people from the SFL in this league as well. So it's not like we just met this season. But what made you want to become an athletic director after only being in this league a short period of time?
Oh, well, it was really an easy decision for me. I joined the league, got invited by somebody I knew from another league. I joined the league, and when I found out, it's college, of course, that's my favorite. It's college football. So I was already excited. And then once I got here and I realized that y'all didn't have Texas, and it didn't take long to kind of start hearing murmurs of, hey, there might be an expansion. And it just seemed like, man, this is perfect, and I'm just going to throw my name in the hat, see what happens with it. And so basically the first opportunity I got with you, I made mention of it. Hey, if there's ever an expansion, let me know. And so I just basically, that's all it was. I just threw my name in the hat. Get my name out there. Like you said, there's a lot of people in this league. Is when I got over here, I wasn't sure. I'd never heard of it. And then I got over here and I got in the Discord and I started seeing all these familiar names. So it was like, okay, this is a legit league just because of the names and the people. So yeah, it was just perfect. It was a perfect storm. I threw my name out there just about the time I guess y'all were deciding to kind of make some moves, and it just happened for me.
Let me piggyback on that too and let everybody know, not only did we have that conversation, did you reach out to me about it, but the fact that at the time you were helping out Missouri out a lot with player builds. You were starting to learn how to do stuff that athletic directors and coaches do in the league. So for us, from a leadership perspective, that was huge to see somebody so new jumping in, doing their thing, not afraid to get their hands dirty, and really helping out over there at Missouri with Maverick and them. So I want to send you some kudos, Mike, for doing that to begin with.
Oh yeah, it's I guess it's a labor of love, and I just like competing. I like being around like-minded individuals who like football as much as I do, and I want to be on it. We obviously all want to win, so you get yourself on a team, and maybe something's going on, and someone needs a little help. There's a lot going on, a lot of different personalities and people to keep up with and stuff. So I just felt like, if I could just help out a little here, a little there, anything I can do to help out. Because, at the end of the day, we're all getting better every week through our progressions and everything, and our team's slowly getting better. So anything any of us can do on a an individual level, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's just helping the team. So I don't mind doing it at all. And like I said, it's really a labor of love for me. I absolutely love X's and O's in football. So
awesome. Well,
it's
Michaela
it's an opportunity for me.
Michaela threw you a shout out in the chat. I forgot that you help with the totaling up the pick'em. So that's something else you do for the league, which obviously goes a long way for somebody who wants to be an AD. It's the whole Janet Jackson line, right? What have you done for me lately? Justin Resides says, like, somebody has to bring Rutgers in this league. No, we're trying to keep this league elevated, Justin.
Yeah, no, we don't need Rutgers. Come on now.
And then Annie,
you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's bad enough we have Iowa.
Hey, Mike, some chick in the chat named Annie Beaverhausen says you can't tell, but you're pretty excited about this. Tell us who Annie Beaverhausen is to you.
Anastasia Beaverhausen is my beloved wife, Brandy.
Who is
drop a name?
Wow.
Who is
We drop a name.
That's fine. She doesn't mind. She doesn't mind.
She
You
also.
know what? I've started calling her. Go ahead.
No, go. You go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, I've started calling her the Beaver around the house.
Dude, that's what happens here at the AACL, man. People say something like, I'm gonna do something, and next thing you know, they just shove it down your fucking throat all the time, man. This is what we do here.
But you said it 3 times. You said it 3 times. That was the best part.
Sometimes, hold on. I have some more breaking news. Hold on. Ready? Breaking news. Hey, sometimes I fuck up. All right, so somebody else. There's something else in here I wanted to point out to you, Mike, real quick, and then I'm going to ask you one more question before I let you go. Oh, Gunny said Churchill and Diggs were the first recruits to tell Tennessee no, thank you, and I guess you had your loyalties to one Orange UT and couldn't go to the other one. Is that how that broke down?
No comment.
Listen, we all understand. Fuck Tennessee, bro. Just say
there's. I mean, on the real, absolutely, yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you saw what the SEC did, right? In the standings with all the marketing, it's Tennessee is UT and you guys are Tex, TEX. How do you like that?
That's fine by me.
Do you like?
That's totally fine by me.
Mike Churchill, do you like apples?
Oh God. Okay, I'll bite. Yeah.
How about them apples? All right, so.
He fed his ego.
Last question, bro, and that will let you go so we can get to some other ridiculous stuff we'll probably have to talk about. Is you? I would like you, and I gave Ray this chance. I gave Crazy Canuck, Soto. Give us a couple minutes on why you think people, either new recruits or transfers, should come play for you at Texas next season.
Sure. So, I guess, for me, the first thing, I kind of hit on a little bit earlier. It's like, you join the league. The league's awesome. I don't want to take away from anything. Without Texas, it was just missing something. And that's just my opinion. And I knew that other leagues would eventually come. I knew it would be a matter of time. And I thought to myself, if someone gets a Texas team, that's where I'm going. And sure enough, it ended up falling in my hands. But, man, if you're a Texas guy and you're in this league and you're on a team just because, they don't have a Texas team, well, we're here now. So just come on home. We're really looking forward to, I don't know, I guess my main thing right now is, figuring out a path forward with the league and what game we're going to be using and all that. But, for now, it's kind of what everybody else said when you talk to them. Being an expansion team, you're going to have a lot of open roster spots.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be plenty of opportunity there. Maybe if you're unhappy or for whatever reason, we're going to have quite a few open roster spots. Obviously, we've tried to do a little bit of work ahead of time and hopefully try to get some people to come over with us. But virtually every spot is open over here. And I'd also like to tell anybody, hey, man, if you got the game and you're, I got a PS5. I've got the game on PS5. you're running sims and maybe you've been looking for someone you want to maybe work with or talk to, because I love communicating. I love bouncing ideas back and forth off of people, especially when it comes to do with football. So, if you're looking to maybe, hey, I think I can maybe help out, be an OC or a DC, and you want an opportunity, just it could be the spot for you. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but there's opportunity there, and I'm always open to a collaboration with anybody. At the end of the day, you're responsible for Texas and how the program runs and operates, but that doesn't make you the proprietary owner of the situation. And having someone come over and get involved, that would be really cool. I know I don't know everything there is to know about football, so it's always a welcome opportunity to learn a couple of things.
Yep.
And then finally, I guess we want to be well organized, and we want to be well prepared in everything we do. I want to have a well organized locker room, so when you show up, we've got schedules posted. We make it so crystal clear what days classes and gym are. We have people helping remind people. We have people helping with builds. Just anything we can do to kind of have anybody in our locker room that would have any questions about the league. Hopefully we can solve them in-house, and we can have our players position they can be to win. And then, of course, adding on to that would be, the fact that I have the game, or the game we plan on using. But, there will be time there to go back and behind the scenes and work on player builds, answer questions, things along that line. But, yeah, just making sure that the players are well informed and well organized. And where, if you're not an AD or an OC or a DC, and you just want to be in this league and it just be kind of a side thing or fun.
Bad timing there, Michaela. Bad timing there.
Yeah.
So that's what plays when Michaela jumps in the booth. Not that she was ripping on Churchill, but that is fucking hilarious.
That's good stuff.
Hey, Mike, let me just jump in for one second. So Gunny in the chat said, I have a feeling UT versus UT will be a new AACL rivalry, which is very possible. Another possible rivalry for you, and we won't know what those will be until we get all the teams situated in the offseason, but you're really close to LSU as far as geographical goes in this league, and they are one of the top teams in this league. That would be interesting for you as a new team to go against a team that's been here since the beginning. How would you feel about that? I'll give you like 30 seconds, and then we gotta move on.
Oh, absolutely. Come on with it. I mean, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. You can't shy away from any competition. It's not like you can control the schedule. So we just want to be prepared and come with it every week, and do our best to represent the organization and our state, our beloved state of Texas. And we understand we're gonna lose some games, but I tell you what, we're gonna win some games too. So we're absolutely prepared and ready to play anybody that comes across our schedule. I thought about that, and there's not really teams that could be considered a rivalry for me. So I'm kind of looking for that.
Right.
So
well, you got a couple already to start thinking.
We'll be ready.
Yeah, you got a couple already to start thinking about. But Mike, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you being patient while we did all our other ranting and jumping on here. You're gonna have a lot of work to do, but I'm sure you're gonna be well prepared over there in Texas. So again, thanks for coming on tonight, and congrats on becoming an athletic director here in the AACL for season 4.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
All right. That was Mike Churchill, folks, the new athletic director for the University of Texas Longhorns. I got a few things here in the chat I wanted to comment. Gunny said, I have a feeling UT versus UT will be a new AACL rivalry. And then Crazy said, which team would wear orange? And I was like, wait a minute. You know, Ray, Yogi, Keith, you guys got to back me up on this. If that becomes a rivalry, where do they need to play their game?
I'd say the Dallas Stadium.
No, in the fucking Orange Bowl, bro.
Oh, you know what? All right, you got me there.
Fair.
All right.
All right. Yeah, fuck.
I'm thinking Texas.
I get it. So, Anastasia Beaverhausen, I kind of have a feeling. Soto, you might want to like start calling her right now, bro. I have a feeling she might be like one foot out the door already, heading to Texas. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're like the Canucks. You know, they want to play against each other. Who knows for sure? But anyway, all right. So just a quick recap, and we'll move on to our next point here. Is that we know Miami's coming with
Miami's staying.
Or with I'm sorry,
Just with
with
a new
staying
AD.
with the new AD with Soto. Boise State's coming. Kind of almost the same thing since you're taking over Notre Dame now.
Pretty much.
Michigan's coming. Man, there's a lot of big names coming now. Like this is like a big deal now. And the Texas Longhorns all coming to the ACL in season 4. And I know there's a lot of Texas people in this league, so I don't think he's going to have a hard time recruiting at all. So again, congrats to Churchill. And let's see. So we did teams leaving. What's next here? We did the newest additions to season 4, the newest addition. And by the way, it doesn't mean that we're done adding teams, by the way. Just FYI. Next Tuesday. I did want to talk about that for a second. Hold on. I keep trying to make this fucking thing smaller and smaller. It can only get so small. It can only get so small, Ray.
That's what she said.
Hey-o.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Whoop. All right, so next Tuesday's drawing. For those of you who, I'm going to go back through, and so next Tuesday is going to be a really short show, like I mentioned. So it's going to be half an hour because we did the whole big show this week for Week 10. That's going to kick off next week. I'm just going to do a quick recap, remind everybody what's up, and at the end of that show next Tuesday, I'll do the drawings that I was going to do. I think there's the one for Buc-ee's. There's another one for some AACL gear. There might be a third one, but I'll scroll back through the pings and figure them all out. And we'll do all of those drawings next Tuesday night. Now it's time. I'm just going to get rid of this fucking cover up now that I don't have to say. This is the time we're going to get back into the regular scheduling program. The last 3 bullet points. We're going to talk about the new rankings. We'll do our players of the week. And we will do... I got to make sure these are covered too. Holy shit. Yeah, they are. And then we'll wrap up the show with our pick'ems. So, let's go to... I got a lot of shit going on in this fucking show. Week 9. So through week 9, here are the latest records. We got 3 teams now sitting at the top of 7-2. Penn State losing 2 in a row. LSU and UNLV both winning to go from 6-2 to 7-2. So you got LSU, Penn State, UNLV. Alabama dropping to 6-3. Tennessee moving up to 6-3. Kansas dropping to 5-4. Iowa jumping up to 5-4. Then we've got a slew of teams in those 4-5 and 3-6 spots with Syracuse, Florida, Nebraska, and Ohio State at 4-5. Auburn, Mizzou, Notre Dame, and Virginia Tech at 3-6, and Miami there at 1-8. I don't think we need to spend any time talking about this since we already know what the dealio is. We talk about it every week. It's not that hard to see teams win or lose one game. So I think what I'm going to do instead is let's jump right into the KMPR since Keith is here. And, we always have to give Keith that first, 60 to 90 seconds to actually fucking explain himself. So what was that, Ray?
It was me.
That wasn't me. That was him.
I said, oh boy, time to piss people off.
Exactly. All right. So, Clams, give me a drum roll, baby. Let's knock out this KMPR.
No, drum roll.
All right, folks, here is your new KMPR top 10. LSU jumps up one to the number 1 spot. UNLV jumps 3 spots from number 4 to number 2. Your team that sat at the top last week, Alabama, dropping from 1 to 3. Tennessee, the other big jumper, from 7 to 4. Kansas and Penn State both dropping a couple. Nebraska moving up from 9 to 7. Ohio State dropping a couple. Florida jumping in, replacing Notre Dame, and Auburn staying barely in the top 10, but dropping a couple spots. So, Keith, talk to us. That seems like a lot of movement, the kind of movement we haven't seen Probably the last few weeks. You know, we had a lot of movement at the beginning of the season, and things seem to have settled down. But now they look like they're getting crazy again. What's the cause of that?
Well, I think a lot of people probably, when they saw Penn State lose, they saw Kansas lose, they saw who else lost? Alabama lost. I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people had some inkling that there was going to be some real chaos in the rankings this week, and the KMPR was definitely no exception. I will say Auburn is barely hanging on in the top 10, so you are not wrong, Dave. It is. They're really only still in because Notre Dame lost to Iowa. So.
Yeah, I mean they're the only 3-6 team in. I mean there has to be one 3-6 team in, I guess technically, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think another thing that I will say.
Oh no! Wait a minute. So Syracuse and Ohio State are 4 and 5 teams that are not in.
Ohio State's 8.
Yeah, Ohio State's 8. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. So Syracuse.
Syracuse. They started the week a few spots out of the top 10. They could only move so far. So Q's right now is 11. So there's a little.
So they're right there.
I figured that.
Yes, they're right there. I think another
Cornhub has a good point. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Cornhub has another point. Iowa is 5-4 and they're not in the top 10.
Yeah, well, I think I've mentioned this before. It doesn't help when you lose by a ton to all the good teams and all the teams below you, you're barely beating. I think at this point, I'm just double checking real quick. Yeah, at this point, I think the only wins that Iowa has are the other 5 teams outside of the top 10. Those are the only wins that Iowa has right now this season.
Well, there you go, Corn. What else do you want to tell us before we go around the horn here?
I think the other thing that I just want to mention is the KMPR is pretty clear that LSU, UNLV, and Alabama are the top 3. It's pretty definitive this week with that.
So are you saying Tennessee was a distant 4th?
Or they've got to be closing ground at least.
Well, so Tennessee was 4th. But there's kind of a jumble there between 4 and 9. That's all kind of a big hodgepodge, if you will.
Gotcha.
There's some teams like Penn State and Florida that lost tiebreakers.
Right.
That gave them the spots that they have.
Okay.
But at this point, that 4 to 9 is kind of like a big hodgepodge, and then the top 3 is pretty clear this week.
Gotcha. All right. Ray, your first impressions here on the latest KMPR top 10.
Yeah, for once, the KMPR actually looks fucking normal. Like that's shocking for me to say. It actually looks completely goddamn normal. I mean,
that's what I've been saying. You got to give it a few weeks, man.
Bitch, we're getting to week 10. That's more than a few weeks, motherfucker.
Hey,
for like the first 7, it looked like fucking Wink was taking control of it, and then week 8, it was just like, okay, it's getting there. It's still got a few hiccups. It's almost like a fucking Virginia Tech season with your top 10.
OnStar.
Hey, listen, college football rankings are a marathon, not a sprint, all right?
There you go. Yogi, what are your impressions here on this KMPR top 10?
I can't argue a ton with it.
What was that, Yogi?
I can't argue a ton with it. It's not that far off. It's very close to what I had, just a little different here, different there.
I think the only arguments that I might have, I don't even think I was an argument. I think there could be an argument made for a Syracuse team that beat Ohio State and has the same record for them to be in and Ohio State to be out. But other than that, it doesn't look terrible to me.
No.
What's your take on that part, Kelvin? The Ohio State, they were all the way up to 6. Syracuse wasn't even in it last week. They have the same record, and Syracuse wins the head-to-head.
Yeah, I think part of that. I think part of that may have to do with the fact that Ohio State started the season at, I believe, number 5 in my KMPR rankings, and Syracuse started at number 13 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, which I mean that can kind of dictate where you end up in week 6 or something like that if you only go 2-4 or 3-3 as opposed to if you're 6-0, it doesn't really matter where you start the season, you're going to be in the top 10.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, folks. So we see the Week 9 records, the KMPR top 10 for Week 10, which brings us to your new Week 9, post-Week 9, going into Week 10, official rankings. Drum roll, please. All right, folks. I think we had 10 or 11 entities voting this season. LSU moves up one, and look how similar the official rankings are to the KMPR this week. It's a little scary. LSU jumps up to number 1 spot. UNLV jumps up 2 spots. Alabama drops 2. Penn State drops 1. Tennessee up 1. You see a lot of this 1s and 2s like you do in the KMPR, Iowa, Nebraska, with Florida and Syracuse jumping in. And this is the first time this has happened. The only other 2 teams to receive votes are the 2 teams who dropped out in Auburn and Ohio State. That's the first time that's actually happened this season. So, Ray, I will start with you. Your first impression here. They look very similar to the KMPR minus 1 or 2 teams. What do you think about this Week 9? This is where I see Syracuse is in and Ohio State is out, where I think that whole argument with the head-to-head and same record probably carries more weight with the voters than it does with the KMPR.
I mean, pretty much. Syracuse the past 2 weeks that we actually been able to play, not actual 2 weeks, so nobody jump a gun on it and everything and be like, there hasn't been 2 straight weeks of football. Shut up.
Yeah. Okay, Snapperheads.
Syracuse has looked like a damn team to be a force to be reckoned with. They've just found that motivation somehow. Ohio State, I guess the break kind of got to them, kind of dumbed them down a little bit to be like, hey, look, we don't know our plays anymore. They spent the whole month, partying out in the fucking frat houses or whatever.
You could tell who was fucking around on that month and who took shit seriously, right? I mean, shit.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, LSU, I believe there was like 2 rankings out of the season before LSU finally dropped their first one that actually had LSU above Penn State, UNLV, the unbeaten teams. I had LSU as the top dog, and I'm finally happy to see that LSU Tiger, the whole team, just finally be up there at the number 1 spot where I think they truly belong the entire season.
Although Penn State beat LSU head-to-head, right?
Yes, they did.
They did.
First game of the season.
Yeah, it was the.
Oh, was it game 1?
No, yeah. I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't game 1.
It wasn't game 1. It was like week 3 or something.
Okay.
So it was early.
I think it was like week 4, week 5.
Either way, it was the first third of the season. So that might carry some weight.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it probably doesn't carry as much weight as it would have if it had been more
week
recent.
3.
Okay. All right, Yogi, your first impressions here, the Week 9 official rankings.
Almost exactly what I have.
Yeah, I noticed
right down the line.
Yeah, here's the other thing with 10 or 11, whatever it was, people voting. This was the most similar polling I've seen all season long. And
I believe it.
What do you think, Yogi? You think things are just finally weeding themselves out, or what?
Yeah, they're settling in, but we're still getting a lot of upsets that are shaking things up every week. But we're shaking it up in a logical way, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not, and both polls are very similar. They're not that far off.
Yeah, they really aren't. I think I don't know. I think this week there were some upsets, right? I mean, Penn State losing, Ohio State losing, Alabama losing. I would consider
Syracuse, Ohio State.
Yeah. I would consider some of those upsets. Keith, how you feel? You feel a little vindicated now that these are kind of evening out to be the same?
Well, I think the past 3 or 4 weeks, it's been the KMPR has had 8 or 9 of the same teams in the official rankings. It's not going to match up.
It's been more jumbled, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to match up exactly, and that's exactly what I expected, making a rating system as opposed to rankings. I mean, rankings typically would reflect on teams' records, which sure enough is pretty much exactly what you're seeing right now with the official rankings, as opposed to the KMPR, which makes sense. I mean, that's what we all have come to expect from real life college football rankings, and we use a pretty similar system here. So I'm really not surprised at all with any of the official rankings. I think that top 6 that's listed right there is, I think a lot of people would agree, is probably the top 6 right now in the league. So I really don't have a lot of gripes with the official rankings as opposed to the KMPR.
Yeah. I like the way things are shaking out. I like that it was almost like there was some teams separating themselves, and everything's kind of settled in a little bit for, as we go down the stretch of this last third of the season. So I'm glad to see it as well. So, all right, folks, there you go. Through 9 weeks, there's your records in the middle in red, the KNPR top 10 in white, and your official rankings that will be on the games beginning next Tuesday for week 10. That's going to bring us to our second to last thing to talk about today, offensive and defensive players of the week. One of them was very close, the other one not so close. So we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to start with defensive player of the week for week 9, and when Clam's ready to give me a drum roll, we'll get into it. Squibble, strong safety for Penn State. Basically the only highlight for them, I think, in that whole game. Penn State just was not themselves. Nebraska coming out with a new playbook last week really took it to them. 12 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 2 interceptions. The way the voting breakdown went for defensive player, Squibbs had 5 votes. Second place only had 2, which was Carlton Rhodes with Alex Roy and Randy Brooks having one apiece. So Squibbs running away with it. Congrats to Squibbs, a shiny or a tiny shimmer of light over there in the Penn State locker room after a couple rough weeks. We almost had co-offensive players of the week again this week. They were separated by 1 vote. That vote was it came in late. It was the last vote that decided this. So with no further ado, let's see who the offensive player of the week is for week 9. It is Bogey Barr, the halfback for Virginia Tech, 22 carries, over 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had 5 votes. Your runner-up was Larry Ballin from LSU with 4 votes, who I believe passed for like 500 yards with no interceptions and a couple touchdowns or something. And then Rodney Dangerfield had a solo vote. If I'm not mistaken, he also rushed for over 200 yards. So 3 very deserving offensive players, but Bogey Barr gets it by a single vote, so he is your Week 9 offensive player of the week, and Squibbles is your Week 9 defensive player of the week. No, Gunny did not vote for himself. Gunny did not vote for himself, actually, believe it or not. Actually, I shouldn't even say believe it or not. You know Gunny's not like that. That's not it. All right, folks, we're going into the last segment, and we're way ahead of schedule. I like this. The pick'ems will be up in the server as soon as we figure out the schedule. So once you see the schedule post, just know that the pick'ems will be posted shortly thereafter in the server. You've got plenty of time. They'll probably be posted in the next day or two, and you've got till Tuesday kickoff to work them out. So you got plenty of time, so don't sweat it. Remember, though, this is another way that you can earn progression for the off-season. We only do off-season progression here in the AACL. That's why you attend class and hit the gym during the season. I got to find... Where the fuck did I put that bitch? There it is right there. All right, let's do pick'ems. We're just going to do them in the order on the screen. Like I said earlier, this does not mean this is the order that they're going to be played in. So I will go around the horn. Tennessee will be on the road at Alabama. Tennessee coming off a big win. Alabama coming off a tough loss. Ray, is Alabama looking for revenge? And this is this is kind of a natural rivalry anyway, Alabama, Tennessee. So is Alabama going to be a little more pumped up for this one?
Man, Alabama tore the hearts pretty much out of everybody. They finally claimed that number 1 spot, and it seems like the pressure was just way too much for the Roll Tide. I even gave them a Roll Tide roll last week. It felt dirty, but it felt like it needed to be done because Alabama felt like that team that was going to be unstoppable to beat. Now, in what we know is going to be their last season in the AACL. Unfortunately for Alabama, your tiers last week, they're just going to continue over because you got good old Rocky Top coming in, and they don't sing Sweet Home Alabama. No, they don't fucking like Alabama. They want to go back home with a goddamn W. I'm choosing the fucking Volunteers over the Roll Tide roll.
There you go. So Yogi, here's my, not my impression of, but kind of how I feel like Alabama handled their first number 1 seeding here in the AACL. It reminds me of that kind of dude in high school that everybody knows is a fucking dork except for the new girl, and so she thinks he's cute, and they go out for like one date and she fucking dumps him. That's
What kind of movie are you watching?
That's my version.
Wow.
That's my version of Alabama being number one for 1 week.
Oh, yeah, it was rough for them. It was rough. But now they're folding up shop. It makes you wonder how much more they're putting into it. I hope full effort. But
I will say this. Daniel Gunn has been doing most of the work. David Ware stepped back a while back.
Yeah.
They've both been active and involved. They were really hyped going to next week. I think you're right. After this, now that it's been made public, and by the way, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. Yes, Gunny, exactly. Can't buy me love. Except that he pays her for that. I don't think Alabama paid for the number one spot.
Yeah.
For because this is sim league, not real college football, where they really do pay for their spot.
As far as we know.
I will say this. I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this. Alabama, we've known for several weeks now that Alabama will not be returning. I wanted to wait until the last third of the season to make the announcement. So I don't want to give the impression or make it look like Alabama got the number one, they lost, and now they're fucking quitting or something. It couldn't be further from the truth. Daniel Gunn, David Ware, they've still been working over there. They've been doing a great job, and I hope they continue to do so. I mean, who knows? They could still win a championship before they leave. You never know what could happen. So, Yogi, Tennessee at Alabama, who are you going to pick?
I just think Tennessee's hot right now. So I've got to stick with Tennessee, even though I was wrong on all those visiting games last week.
Dude,
it's all home.
I think it's the only time, Keith, I'm assuming we haven't confirmed this, but I feel like I can say it with pretty good confidence that we've never gone undefeated at home before in the AACL.
That is correct. This last week was the only time in the history of the AACL that home teams went undefeated.
Unbelievable. See, look at that. AACL, we're always breaking records. We're always making shit pop. That's what we do. Keith, who do you got in this Tennessee-Alabama game?
This one I had to think about for a little bit because Tennessee is they're pretty efficient on offense and they eat up a lot of clock. I think Alabama is more kind of a I don't want to say like a flash in the pan type team, but it seems like their points come in bunches. They're kind of a bit of a roller coaster, and coming back home after a loss, I don't know. Something tells me that they might put up a few points in the first quarter and start running away with this one early. I feel like if that happens, then I think they're gonna take another win. If not, then I mean, man, it's gonna be hard to stop Flash Freddy. But this is another one of those home field advantage picks for me. So I'm gonna take the Tide.
All right, I am rolling with Tennessee because I can never fucking root for Alabama and Tennessee in any fucking sport, be it real, simulation, fake, in my dreams, fucking no matter what. So fucking Rocky Top, baby. I also want to say hi to Benji Matson. I see you creeping back there, bro. What's up? Game number 2 next week on Tuesday, or I don't know what fucking day it's going to be, in week 10, is Iowa at Auburn. Another similar situation, Ray. An Iowa team that's been up and down, but an Auburn team that we now know will not be back, and they have been doing so well. So not sure how that's going to play out now that it's public knowledge, but Iowa at Auburn, who you got?
Yeah, it almost makes it seem like we purposely put Alabama and Auburn at the top there just so we could talk about the two teams that are
well, this graphic was made like 4 months ago, so I'm pretty sure it's not.
Exactly.
It was put in alphabetical order. Alabama went first, then Auburn.
Alabama went first.
And they in Florida and Kansas and Miami.
You got Florida, you got Kansas, Miami.
Bye, Michaela.
Bye, Michaela.
Bye, Michaela.
Iowa, Auburn. If I'm not mistaken, both these teams lost last week.
I believe.
Am I right? Am I right on that?
Hold on, let me look. I think Auburn. Iowa won, right?
Iowa won, yeah.
Did they win? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Auburn lost that close game to Virginia Tech that went to black screen.
They beat Notre Dame, bro. Come on.
Yeah, no, I wasn't paying attention to them. I'm sorry. I was too busy worried about what I have to change for my team now for next week. So yeah. Iowa, Auburn. Iowa, they beat us out. I just looked at the score. They beat us out by 10 points. Auburn, that was a very damn close game that they had. It came down to literally the final minute of the game, and unfortunately, the Tides just did not roll with them. it's still kind of hard to go against Auburn, considering they have their key weapon in that playbook of California. And Iowa's defense, it's sometimes there, it's sometimes not. You don't know when they're going to show up. I have to go with Auburn over Iowa.
Okay, Yogi, Iowa at Auburn.
I hate to go visiting team right off the bat again, but I got to go Iowa. I'm not seeing. I saw some fight in Auburn, but I'm just not seeing the Auburn, the team that you feared.
Yeah,
like they used to be.
You gotta get Swifty. You gotta get Swifty in here.
Well,
Clam says you're sleeping on the couch, Yogi.
Well, Keith, I was definitely going to have to get Swifty to beat Pink Lisa and Auburn at home. How do you see this one going down?
I don't know, man. I feel like Auburn at home with the Cal playbook. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to go against that, especially considering. I mean, I don't know how many points they've been putting up the last few weeks, but I think I said in Campus Pub earlier that Auburn has put up the most points of anyone the last 4 weeks, including last week, including their hiccup against Virginia Tech last week, and with them coming back home and with Iowa still kind of struggling on offense here and there. I know that they were fine against Notre Dame, but it's a little easier to do it at home. Doing it on the road against Auburn, I don't know, man. It's so hard to go against Auburn, so I'm going against them.
I'm actually going Auburn as well. I don't see in any world ever created that Marco Swift could outplay Pink Lisa in this league. I just don't see it happening. So it's Marco. I hope Marco's still listening too. Fuck you, Marco. That's for earlier, bitch. Okay.
Thanks for your $5.
Thanks for your $5. I'm putting it on Auburn to beat Iowa.
My deciding vote on that game, the Iowa, is what Shikabala told us, that Iowa beats everybody out of the top 10.
Oh yeah, but they can't beat the good teams. That's a good point.
Right. So if Auburn is out of our top 10, does that count? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Auburn's in the top 10, so I don't know. So technically, I guess it would count.
They just got kicked out.
Oh, they're in the KMPRs.
In the overall.
Yeah, they're in the KMPR. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So maybe but Auburn's right there, right? So they're in their top 12 because they were one of only two other teams that received. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. They were number 12. Ohio State was 11. So they're right there. Ray, who you got in this third game on the list here? LSU at Florida. These are two great teams, two great ADs. I mean, this might be the game of the week. How do you see this one going down?
Ooh, I'll give y'all guys a little sneak peek of how I build schedules. I find the games of the week first, and the only game of the week I could see that will be the main marquee matchup of the week next week, I have this matchup in that slot. LSU going to Florida and just battling out the new number one going against a fucking... Listen, y'all all made fun of me last week.
Well, you make it so easy, bro.
Because I sat here and said Florida at home is a dangerous team. Everybody else, I believe, went against Florida in their last week's matchup.
Was Florida at home? Because if they were at home, I picked them last week.
Florida was at home.
They were at home.
Who'd they beat?
They beat Kansas by 29.
Oh, hold on. I mean, check that. I might not have picked them. I don't remember now. But go ahead. Go on with your...
I believe everybody but me last week chose Kansas. I'm the one that went with the home team of Florida. All right? You motherfuckers are doubting that stadium in Gainesville. When you step into the swamp, it's a different fucking landscape. You have to know that stadium from head to fucking toe. You got to know how to control them fucking fans in the stands. And I better well fucking know because, one, I used to be on that damn team. And two, I stepped my new team into that fucking field and took their turf. All right? I know what it takes to beat fucking Florida. LSU doesn't have what it takes to fucking beat Florida.
You just got done.
Gators in the goddamn swamp.
You just got done touting them about finally they're the number one team where they deserve to be, and now you throw them under the bus fucking 5 minutes later.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Alabama
gets number one, they drop. LSU finally gets number one. They're going to fucking drop.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they have to do it against the Florida team. Penn State's looking at this shit at number 4 spot right now. It's just like, God damn, we held that shit for 7 weeks. Y'all can't hold it for one fucking measly week, you sons of a bitches.
Dude, if that goes down, UNLV's going to be licking their chops. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hey, real quick. So, Kansas at Florida, 40-11 in the pick'ems for Kansas. And yes, I was one of the Kansas picks. My bad. Yogi, LSU at Florida, bro. Game of the week.
I'm not throwing them under the bus. LSU is built to come into Florida and win that game. I disagree wholeheartedly with Ray. I think they are built for it. I think they come in there and they handle business in Florida.
Yeah, okay. So we got one for Florida, one for LSU. Keith, where do you stand on this one?
So this is one of those interesting games statistically. Florida, number 1 in points scored. LSU is way out in front as the number 1 in points allowed. So interesting matchup there. I think we all know how LSU wins games, which is they run the ball a ton, they eat up a bunch of clock, they don't turn the ball over. Florida, man, Tommy Tebow has been a little quieter the past few weeks after just an absolutely unreal start to the year. He's still really dangerous, though. I just have a hard time going against the LSU defense regardless of where you play because they've gone into a few stadiums and just absolutely suffocated teams. I think Ohio State and Nebraska are 2 examples of that. So I have to pick LSU here.
I am torn on this game, and usually when I'm torn, when I'm splitting hairs, I go with the home team. Last week, I was splitting hairs between Kansas and Florida, and I did not do that, so I need to go back to what I do and not get bit in the ass twice by the Gators. So I will take Florida in a close game over LSU. Plus, if UNLV could beat Syracuse, it'll give us our 4th number 1 team in 4 weeks, which I think would be kind of fun in the league. So 2 for LSU, 2 for Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4. Game number 4 on the list here. Missouri at Kansas. This is a natural rivalry. And I can't remember if Missouri won last week. I know Kansas took it on the chin pretty bad.
Missouri lost.
Okay, so 2 teams trying to recover from last week. So, Ray, Missouri at Kansas. Who'd you pick?
Both these teams lost terribly last week. It was pretty much double digits for both of them. Not really much I can say about here. I can't really run my mouth about any of these because fucking Missouri, again, lost big. Kansas lost big. Did we see that Kansas... What spot is Kansas in again? Did they retain that number 5 spot, or did they drop down even further now?
Hold on.
They're 5. They're 5 in KMPR.
Yeah,
they are 5 in the KMPR. What's?
I think they're 6. Yeah, they're 6.
6. Okay. So the bribes aren't working anymore for Kansas.
So Kansas only dropped 1 spot though after they got their ass handed to them, right? You said
they got their ass handed to them by
Florida.
Who'd they lose?
Florida.
By Florida. Yeah.
Florida.
So what do you think?
Florida jumped up in the top 10. That was
yeah. So what are you thinking here, Missouri or Kansas?
Am I really? No, because I went Tennessee for the first one. I guess I'm fine with this. Sorry, Missouri. I don't see any hype between y'all's team, honestly. It's just mainly your quarterback, and your running back's not doing shit. Your wide receiver core's not doing any shit. And your defense is lackluster, pretty much, to be honest. I have to go with Kansas on this.
All right, so Yogi, Missouri at Kansas, both teams coming off losses. You heard what Ray had to say. What do you say?
Yeah, tough game, but I'm going to have to go the home team. I'm going to go Kansas simply because they're home.
Yeah, home team. Okay. Does that factor in your decision making as well there, Keith?
A little bit. I will say it's fun to see real-life rivalries in this game. Border War right here, traditionally played in Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City.
Did you say Arrowhead Stadium?
Arrowhead, close enough.
I hate the fucking Chiefs. I hate them.
He's not a Chiefs fan.
No, I'm not a Chiefs fan.
Good,
You're welcome.
Good. And by the way, that's pronounced chefs, not Chiefs. But go ahead.
Who are the chefs?
Close enough. I think we saw the worst of Kansas last week in just about every possible way. I think coming home is going to be good for them. Their defense is still really strong. Missouri's defense has been questionable at a number of instances, and I have an inkling that it's going to bite them again. So I'm going to go Jayhawks.
Okay, I'm with Yogi. When games are close, I lean towards the home team, especially after last week. So I'm going to take Kansas over Missouri as well. Here's the thing, Ray. Penn State at Miami. I saw the Beeve in there going, oh shit, we have to play Penn State. But Miami, should they be saying, oh shit, we have to play Penn State because Penn State just lost 2 games in a row? And so is there something wrong in Penn State, or is this the game that Penn State reminds everybody who the fuck they are?
You're asking the wrong person for this comment. There's nothing there. You could sit here and look at Penn State dropping 2 and be like, there could be something wrong with Penn State. And if you're a Miami fan, you'd be like, oh, they dropped 2. There's something wrong with them. This could be a closer battle than what we all predicted. No, you're still fucking Miami. You still take that goddamn U. You split it apart. You still have 2 L's. It don't fucking matter. Put up your hands, folks. We're back to this.
Oh,
Put up
fuck.
your hands.
Here we go. Here we go. Son of a bitch.
It doesn't matter if a team's lost 2 straight. It doesn't matter if they lost 5 straight. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Miami facing off against your practice squad. Miami is taking the fucking L. Penn State gets back on that W train.
All right, Yogi, is Penn State fucking Miami?
No, I'm going to go upset of the week.
Really?
I'm gonna call Miami.
Wow!
In a big upset.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Jimmy Slick Pants is gonna go off.
Somebody needs to clip that shit. Oh, by the way, I wasn't gonna name drop anybody when I was talking about the classes and the training, and I don't remember exactly where he is, and I don't want Michaela to say because it should kind of stay within the team for now. All I'm saying is Slick Pants might want to get his ass to class. That's all. That's all I'm saying. You think Miami's tough now? Imagine a Miami University without Slick Pants.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Yogi, he's got the upset. Ray says Penn State gonna fucking crush. Keith, where do you come out on that?
Yeah, this one's pretty easy, man. Penn State's getting the dub. There's not much more to say about that.
Yeah, I've always been a big Penn State fan here in the AACL. If you guys remember, I never bet against them until they lost. I finally bet against them last week, and I won. But I think we need to reverse that this week. I think Penn State rolls over Miami as well. Nebraska at Notre Dame. I think, Ray, I'll let you talk for a minute about you and Michaela and Delaney talking about making this a certain type of game or what have you. But kind of just tell people what we're doing there, and then let me know your prediction.
All right. So no matter... Even if you see on the schedule right there, you see that it is supposed to be a Notre Dame home game against Nebraska. That is technically not going to be the case. We are going to be playing this on a neutral site in what the former AD and the current AD have now joined together before the season even started. They're calling this the Shamrock Series. So Notre Dame. So which is an actual thing. That is true.
Is that what Michaela just said?
Yes.
Okay.
So Notre Dame and Nebraska again will be played on a neutral site. Still working on the neutral site. It's down to 2 options, and I'm still trying to work out details, Michaela, because I got hit me and everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So that all that being said, with this new series that's going to kick off, who do you have winning in this particular game?
Fucking the AD in me, the new AD in me wants to go for Notre Dame, but it's hard like I said last week, it's hard to not fucking look at that Nebraska offense. Ever since they added Mrs. Me, it feels like Mrs. Me was that missing puzzle piece for Nebraska, and it's been nonstop, just score after score after score for Nebraska. And speaking of Nebraska, I no longer have to say, hey, Michaela, because that curse is now broken for me.
That's right.
That's
right.
Because I chose Nebraska and they won. But fuck you, Michaela. Notre Dame's going to get the upset.
Yeah. Let's not get carried away. Yogi, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I think the neutral site definitely pushes the needle over to Nebraska. Nebraska's been hot. Like you said, Mrs. Me has made a huge difference in that team.
Yeah, we just have to remember in the scheduling next season, Michaela, that we don't fuck over Notre Dame and have Notre Dame play at Nebraska. We got to keep it neutral field for at least two seasons. Keith, I know Keith,
Notre Dame won't be a thing.
Keith, oh, that's right. Well, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Don't have to worry about it.
All right. Well, Notre Dame fucked themselves then. Keith, I know you're gonna say Nebraska. Tell us why we're gonna fucking stomp the pants off of fucking Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean it's like something I said in Campus Pub earlier. Stat of the day: Nebraska's averaged 50 points in the last 4 games, and Brooke has thrown 13 picks in those 4 games. So it doesn't fucking matter.
Add in that part, please.
It doesn't fucking matter how many picks she throws. We still put up a fuck ton of points. And Notre Dame's problem this season has been giving up a fuck ton of points. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of things sway in Nebraska's direction, especially given I have no idea how our new playbook was that effective, honestly. I was not expecting that against Penn State, but obviously I'm not complaining. And plus, it's a neutral field, so we don't have to worry about home field advantage. I don't know. It seems like there are a lot of things going Nebraska's way in this game.
Yeah, so I got two points, or 3 technically. I agree with the Mrs. Me thing. Nebraska now, since last week with their custom playbook, looks almost unstoppable. And number 3, the fact that Notre Dame can't change their playbook yet until after this game, I think all the needles point to Nebraska to win on this one. All right, folks, we got 5 minutes left. We got 2 games. We're going to go through these a little quicker. My apologies to those Final Four teams, but that's the clock. Ray, Virginia Tech at Ohio State. Virginia Tech coming off a huge win against Auburn. Ohio State, I think, losing to 2 of their last 3, maybe. How do you see this one going down?
Pretty much like you just said, at Virginia Tech with that huge win last week. Apparently, they did take that Monte Carlo into the fucking shop, and it got fixed up real big. Still a little couple dents, though, so we still had to call OnStar during the game from time to time.
OnStar roadside assistance.
Sorry, I hit the button again. I apologize. God damn, I really got to stop fumbling fingers. I got to go Virginia Tech over Ohio State.
Habits are hard to break, bro. I get it. Virginia Tech over Ohio State. All right, Yogi, Virginia Tech, you guys looked really good last week. Is that momentum going to carry over to next week?
Yeah, we got the Monte Carlo up and running, pristine condition, and we're spending our time now on maintaining that diesel in the backfield. Awesome. If we can keep them running like that, we can beat anybody. So, yeah, I got us one in this game.
Keith, Virginia Tech, Ohio State. You heard what I said to Ray and Yogi. Who you got?
Yeah, I think this is a pretty similar game to Tennessee, Alabama. You have Virginia Tech, who likes to play a little slower, as opposed to Ohio State, who's just go, go, go. They have a lot of big plays. I think similar to Alabama, if Ohio State can get going early, they might put up some points early on, and I don't want to say run away with it, but kind of do it would kind of be a too little, too late scenario for Virginia Tech, I guess you could say. So, and I went Alabama with that game because home field advantage, and I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, I get the home field advantage thing, and if these teams weren't going opposite directions right now, I would probably go Ohio State. But I think Virginia Tech, man, you beat Auburn. And that's just a momentum. It's just momentum to go into your next game. Ohio State trying to figure things out here since the break. I'm going Virginia Tech as well, which brings up the last game. And depending on that game of the week, that LSU Florida game, if the UNLV game is played later, there would be a lot riding on this with the potential of UNLV becoming the number 1 team in the nation, the 4th number 1 in 4 weeks here in the AACL. They have to go to Syracuse. Syracuse also been pretty hot, and they had a huge win last week. Ray, this is probably, I'd say, 1B on games of the week, or at least it has the potential for it. How do you think it's going to fare?
Listen, the last time Syracuse surprised everybody and actually got a win against a team everybody thought they were just going to up and lose, the very next week I sat here and said, okay, maybe the Syracuse team has something to prove. And then I went Syracuse. I'm learning from my past mistakes. Syracuse football sucks. UNLV will be the new number 1 after this week.
Syracuse football sucks.
I thought you said it was Miami Hurricane football sucks.
Oh, that's another one. But, I've sat here and said I will always take that sound of Syracuse football sucking. If I could get that sound and change it to Hurricane football sucks, that would be great. But I still have to find the sound.
Got it. All right. Maybe I'll do it and laugh like that at some point, and we can make it a sound bite. Yogi, is UNLV become the number 1 team in the nation next week?
I think they're going to trip up this week against Syracuse. I really think Syracuse has figured something out. Their offense is clicking pretty smoothly, and I'm going to go with Syracuse.
Yeah, that's a good take actually right there. So we got one for UNLV, Keith. We got one for Syracuse. You're the tiebreaker. Who you got?
Yeah, my opinion's pretty much the same as Yogi. I think Syracuse has figured something out on offense. Their defense, to me, is still a little suspect, and they could be a little bit of a roller coaster at times with the offense that they run. But I think they figured something out, and I think if you can string together a couple stops against UNLV, then you have a serious chance, and I think there's a pretty good chance of that happening. So I'm going to go the Orange.
Okay, so we're about 1 to 2 minutes from going off the air. Freddie's already in the booth. This is the last thing we're talking about, but I want to spend like 10 or 15 seconds. Let's say LSU loses to Florida. Let's say UNLV loses to Syracuse. Let's say Alabama loses to Tennessee and Penn State. I don't think Miami has a chance. Are we literally looking at Penn State losing 2 in a row and then jumping right back to number 1 next week? What's the possibility?
Or Tennessee.
Listen,
beat Alabama.
If the cards fall in their favor, Penn State could very well rise up. If number 1, 2, and 3 lose and Penn State wins, Penn State easily has that jump up back into the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's your other scenario. LSU loses to Florida. UNLV loses to Syracuse. Alabama loses to Tennessee. Penn State gets upset by Miami. Tennessee's your new number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on this week in Week 10.
Yeah. There's 5 teams that could be number 1. 6 teams.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I am on the fence on this one. Usually I will go home team. I think that the difference in this game, one word, Fillmore Slim. That's it. Well, I said it like one word, whatever. I think he's one of the top running backs in the nation, and when he's really going, he's hard to stop. I don't think Syracuse can stop him. I think UNLV wins, and I think UNLV will be your new number 1 team in the nation after Week 10.
Robo is the one.
There you go. That's a wrap, folks. I want to thank Ray, Yogi, and Keith for jumping on, Michaela and Clams, as well as everybody that was in the chat. It was a quick 2 hours, but we covered a lot of ground. If your locker room, if you didn't have everybody in here, please tell them to listen to the VOD, because there is a lot of information that they need to hear. And because I'm not going to listen, I'm going to tell you right now, after doing a 2-hour show and talking about this shit, I'm not answering DMs about it if the answer's here. So that's the deal on that. I'm going to bring my main man in. Freddie, what's up, bro? How are you doing this evening?
What up, Dave? How you doing tonight? I'm doing good, man. Just making it through another week, getting ready for football season, baby.
I know, dude. College football is here. I'm pretty happy. There's some really good
weekend,
games.
Baby.
Yeah,
Tomorrow night. I think got Colorado and North Dakota State. I think it is.
Yeah, I think there's a couple good games. A couple on Friday. Here's the game for me this week. I'm going to be the hugest LSU fan on the planet on Sunday, because they play suck. They play SUC in Vegas. I think at Raiders, where the Raiders play Allegiant. So that's my game of the week, and hopefully LSU's win of the week. So. All right, we're over by a couple minutes, Freddie, so sing us home and let's get out of here.
All right, AACL, here we go. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good parties must end. We'll call it a night, the party's over. Until next week when we start partying down again. Good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Please make sure your team listens to all the information that we had to pass out tonight. Thanks again to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, everybody in the booth. Appreciate everyone. Please have an enjoyable but a very safe Labor Day weekend, and we will see everyone here Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. for a very, very quick version of the AACL tonight, followed by games 1 and 2. So thanks for tuning in. Be safe. Happy Labor Day. See you Tuesday. Good night now.